You're not broke because of that $5 coffee. You're not struggling because you treated yourself to a nice dinner once a month. It's the stuff you barely notice that's killing your bank account. These 5 expenses silently drain thousands of dollars every single year without you even realizing it. Think about the random food delivery when you were too tired to cook, the monthly subscriptions for apps you haven't opened in weeks, or that treat yourself spending that happens way too often. We're talking about upgrading your gadgets every time a new version comes out and paying for convenience you don't actually need. The truth is, most people are leaking money from a dozen different holes, and they wonder why they're still living paycheck to paycheck despite a decent salary. And the last expense we're going to discuss is the single biggest reason why most people never build real wealth, even when they're making 6 figures. If you can identify these leaks, you can plug them. Most of us have been taught that being broke comes from big mistakes. We think it's about buying a house you can't afford, or losing everything in a bad investment. In reality, financial ruin is rarely a sudden crash. It's a slow, quiet erosion. It's the invisible financial leak that happens every single day. This video isn't about never enjoying your life or living like a monk. It's about identifying the expenses that give you almost zero long-term value while stealing your future freedom. I used to think I was financially responsible because I didn't have massive credit card debt, but when I actually sat down and tracked my spending, I realized I was bleeding money on things that didn't even make me happy. Fixing just 2 of these could completely change your financial trajectory. Let's dive into the first silent killer of your wealth. Expense number 1 is convenience spending. This is effectively a laziness tax that we've all been conditioned to accept as normal. Convenience is becoming a lifestyle tax that eats away at your potential savings. Think about food delivery services. By the time you add up the delivery fee, the service fee, the small order fee, and the tip, that $15 burrito is now costing you $27. If you do that twice a week, you're spending over $100 a month just for the luxury of not driving 5 minutes down the road. It's not just food though. It's the Uber you take because you didn't leave early enough to walk or take public transport. It's the overpriced snacks and drinks you buy at the gas station because you didn't pack a water bottle. It's paying for speed or convenience in every single area of your life. When you stack up these small purchases, they compound into massive yearly totals. $27 a day in random convenience spending equals nearly $10,000 a year. That's a down payment on a house or a massive boost to your retirement fund. We have become a society that values 10 minutes of saved time over our long-term financial security. And this next expense is even worse because companies are literally designed to hide it from your view. Expense number 2 is subscription creep. This is death by 1,000 auto renewals. In the modern economy, every company wants you on a recurring payment plan. It's great for their stock price, but it's terrible for your personal finance. We have streaming services for movies, different ones for music, cloud storage, premium apps for fitness, dating and productivity, and gym memberships we rarely use. Many of these start as free trials that we forget to cancel. Companies profit specifically from your forgetfulness. They know that once that $12 a month charge starts hitting your account, you're likely to ignore it because it's just $12. I want you to pause this video right now and try to guess exactly how many subscriptions you have active. Most people guess 4 or 5. The reality for the average person is closer to 12. At this point, your bank account is essentially sponsoring half the internet. These small recurring charges create a high burn rate for your life. Before you even wake up on the first of the month, hundreds of dollars are already gone. If you aren't auditing your bank statement every single month to kill these zombie subscriptions, you are throwing money into a black hole. Expense number 3 is lifestyle inflation. This is the phenomenon where your spending rises exactly in tandem with your income. You get a promotion and a $10,000 raise, and suddenly you feel like you need a bigger apartment. You get a bonus, and you decide it's finally time to trade in your perfectly functional car for a luxury model with a $600 monthly payment. Every salary increase becomes a spending increase. This is why you see people earning $200,000 a year who are still stressed about money. They've upgraded their lives to the point where they are just as trapped as they were when they were earning entry-level wages. They confuse looking rich with actually being rich. The goal should be to keep your expenses as stable as possible while your income grows. That gap between what you earn and what you spend is where wealth is built. If you close that gap every time you get a raise, you will never achieve financial freedom. You'll just have nicer stuff while remaining a slave to your job. It's a high-speed treadmill that leads nowhere, but the next expense is the sneakiest because it often feels like you're doing something productive. Expense number 4 is status purchases. This is the money we spend to impress people we don't even like. We buy designer clothes because we want to look successful. We buy the latest iPhone every single year, even though our current phone works perfectly. We take out massive loans for luxury cars to signal our status to our neighbors. A lot of people are out here financing appearances while their actual net worth is near zero. This is a deep psychological trap. We seek temporary validation from strangers at the expense of our long-term freedom. Social media has accelerated this trend, making us feel like we need to buy trendy items just to stay relevant in our social circles. But most status purchases lose value faster than they gain attention. The moment you drive that luxury car off the lot, it loses 20% of its value. The moment you take the tags off that designer jacket, its resale value plummets. You are trading your life energy, the hours you spent working, for objects that provide a fleeting hit of dopamine. True wealth is silent. The person with the most status is often the person who doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. Expense number 5 is the hidden cost of not investing in your skills. This is the most expensive mistake of all because it represents the cost of staying the same. While people obsess over saving $5 on a latte, they ignore the fact that they haven't learned a new high-income skill in 5 years. The most expensive thing you can buy is stagnation. If you spend all your free time on entertainment consumption, scrolling through social media, or binge watching shows, you are paying an enormous opportunity cost. By avoiding books, courses, or networking, you are essentially choosing to remain at your current earning level. People will spend $50 at a bar without thinking twice, but they'll hesitate to spend $20 on a book that could teach them how to double their income. This is a massive failure in money habits. Investing in your own ability to generate value is the only investment with an infinite return. When you stop growing, your income stops growing. Don't let your obsession with minor savings distract you from the massive potential of your own earning power. You wake up now. Wealth doesn't mean doing without or never buying fun things. The focus is intentional expenditure. Slowly being broke prevents most people from realizing it. A lifetime of financial hardship comes from modest, unconscious choices. However, you can seal these leaks once you see them. Instead of regretting past spending, apply this knowledge to improve your future. Stop paying the laziness tax, cancel zombie subscriptions, and resist buying status. And you suddenly have enough money to spend in your future. You realize a simpler existence gives you more freedom and less stress. Make your money work for you instead of your goods. I challenge you, for 7 days, track every $1 that leaves your pocket or bank account. Observe your habits before changing them. For a faster gain, check your bank statement now and cut one hidden spending. Stop using that app or pack your lunch for the week. Small financial habits impact your destiny. Leave a comment. Which of these 5 expenses hurt you hardest? What have you quit buying that dramatically changed your finances? Start a conversation down there. It's not about looking rich for neighbors or social media. Becoming financially free lets you live your life your way. Your future self will appreciate today's changes. Stay focused, diligent, and see you next time.